Hey guys, so a while back I reviewed Neutrogena's Hydro Boost Water Gel on my blog, and I was a little bit harsh. So harsh that every time my friend talks about this moisturizer, she calls it that moisturizer you really didn't like. And the reason I didn't like this moisturizer is because of the ingredients list. So even though the ingredients list is pretty short, which is usually a good sign, it had a few controversial ingredients in there. So I'm going to start off with the ingredients that I actually liked, and the first one is glycerin. So glycerin is actually the third chemical on the ingredients list, which means that there's a lot of it in here, which is super good. Glycerin's actually a super common chemical. Like, I promise, I bet my entire skincare collection that if you have a skincare product, it probably has glycerin in it. So glycerin is a hygroscopic ingredient, or a humectant, which means that it draws in moisture from the air to keep your skin moisturized. And another really popular humectant is sodium hyaluronate, which is a form of hyaluronic acid, and that's actually the highlighting point of this moisturizer. Those were the good ingredients, but now for the controversial ingredients. The first of which is fragrance.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the f?
Everybody knows her. Nobody likes her. She does nothing for your skin, and she can even irritate some people's skin. So I would really much prefer this skincare product without fragrance. So the second ingredient that I didn't really like is blue dye. Dye, similar to fragrance, does nothing for your skin. It's really just for the sensory experience, and I will say this moisturizer is a really pretty blue, but it's artificial, and for some people it can really irritate their skin. So I would also prefer this moisturizer without the blue dye. Now, for the third controversial ingredient, I want to talk about dimethicone. So dimethicone is the second, it's literally the second and fourth ingredient on here. So it's definitely something that plays a huge component of this moisturizer. And a long time ago, as soon as I saw dimethicone on an ingredients list, I would be like, but after I did some more deep research into exactly what dimethicone does, if it really does clog your pores, and if it's actually super bad for your skin, I found that it's not terrible. It's actually pretty good.
Okay.
So some good parts of dimethicone are, even though it's occlusive, which means that it keeps moisture in the skin, it doesn't trap your dead skin cells and bacteria in the skin, so it actually won't clog your pores. That's why it's non-comedogenic. And so that's really good for people who have oily skin or skin that tends to clog up, and they tend to get pimples. So this is a really good way of keeping the moisture in your skin without that happening. I think one of the reasons this moisturizer is actually so popular with people with oily skin is because of the dimethicone. So a lot of moisturizers, especially occlusive ones like Vaseline, they'll leave the skin looking really oily and greasy after you apply, but Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel actually doesn't do that because of the dimethicone. Dimethicone allows sweat to evaporate while still keeping moisture retained in the skin. And I think for people who prefer for their skin to have more of like a matte finish, this product is really good for that because of the dimethicone. So I'm not saying that this moisturizer won't break you out. Like all skincare products, you definitely want to spot test before you put it all over your face. But if it does break you out, I think it might be more likely to be caused by the artificial fragrance or dye rather than dimethicone. I actually really liked the feeling of this moisturizer. It's really light, it's gel, and leaves my skin feeling pretty bouncy afterwards. And for that reason, I really like using it in the summer. but I will say that it's not that moisturizing. So if you have dry skin, I wouldn't say this is just your one and done moisturizer. You definitely have to put on more after this moisturizer. But if you have oily skin and it's really humid because it's summer, then yeah, I think this moisturizer could be really great for you. The fragrance is a little bit strong and it is a little perfumey. So if you're super sensitive to fragrance, this is not the moisturizer for you. You will definitely get a headache. I actually haven't gotten any breakouts with this, so that's been really good. I think, again, because it's non-comedogenic. But overall, if you do have dry skin, I think there are better alternatives for a moisturizer than this, and I would really only wear this during the summer. So I bought this actually at Costco when it was $5 off, and it came in a 2-pack for $20. So I got one of these for about $10, which is a steal, like all things at Costco. But right now it's still pretty cheap if you get it from Costco. I think it's $27 for a 2-pack, so you know, $13.50 for one, which is really good, especially if you compare it to other retailers. Like if you get this off Amazon, it'll be about $17, and if you get it at Ulta, it'll be $25. And I would say that at those prices, I don't know if this is worth it. I would much rather get something else for $25 because this is good, but it's very basic, you know, it doesn't do much more than moisturize, and it's not like there are really special ingredients here that make it stand out compared to other moisturizers. Overall, I think this product has gone from acceptable to pretty good in my opinion. It's definitely not life-changing, but I would recommend this to people who have oily skin and need a good moisturizer for the summer, if they are not sensitive to fragrance. So that's it for the video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below if you've tried this product before, what you think about it now, and as always, stay safe and healthy, guys. Bye.
I fall asleep at night, holding my pillow like it's your body next to mine.